Ancient Kush, the geography of early Nubia, shows of Egypt a group of people settled in the region. We now call it Nubia. These Africans established the first great kingdom in the interior of Egypt. Africa. We know this kingdom by the name the Egyptians gave it, Kush. The development of Kushite society was greatly influenced by the geography of Nubia, especially the role played by the Nile River. The land of Nubia. Today, desert covers much of Nubia, but in ancient times the region was more fertile. Than it is now. Rain flooded the Nile every year, providing a rich layer of silt to nearby lands. The kingdom of Kush developed in this new was in rich minerals such as gold, copper, and stone. These resources played a major role in the area's history and contributed to its wealth. Early civilizations in Nubia, like all early civilizations, the people of Nubia depended on agriculture for their food. Fortunately for them, the Nile floods allowed the Nubians to plant both summer and winter crops. Among the crops they grew were wheat, barley, and other grains. Besides farmland, the banks of Nile also provided grazing land for livestock. As a result, farming villages thrived all along by the Nile by 1305 BC. Over time, some farmers grew richer than others. These farmers became villagers. Sometimes around 2000 BC, one of these leaders took control of other villages and made himself king of the region. His new kingdom was called Kush. The king of Kush ruled from their capital at Kerma. This city was located on Nile, just south of the third cataract. Because the Nile's cataracts made parts of the river hard to pass through, they were natural barriers against the invaders. For many years, the cataracts kept Kush safe for the more powerful Egyptian kingdom to the north. As time passed, Kushite society grew more complex. Besides farmers and herders, some Kushites became priests and artisans. Early Kush was influenced by culture to the south. Later, Egypt played a greater role in Kush's history. Kush and Egypt were neighbors. Sometimes the neighbors lived in peace with each other and helped each other prosper. For example, Kush became a major supplier of both slaves and raw materials to Egypt. The Kushites sent materials such as gold, copper, and stone to Egypt. The Kushites also sent Egyptian ebony, a type of dark heavy wood, and ivory, the hard white materials that make up elephant tusks. Relations between Kush and Egypt were not always peaceful, however. As Kush grew wealthy from trade, its army grew stronger as well. Egypt's rulers soon feared that the Kush would grow even more powerful and attack Egypt. To prevent such an attack from occurring, the pharaoh Thutmose sent an army to take control of Kush around 15 BC. The pharaoh's army conquered all of Nubia's north of the first cataract. As a result, Kush became part of Egypt. After his victory, the pharaoh destroyed Kerma, the Kushite capital. Later pharaohs including Ramses the Great built huge temples in what had been Kushite territory. Effects of the conquest. Kush remained an Egyptian territory for about 450 years. During that time, Egypt's influence over Kush grew tremendously. Many Egyptians settled in Kush. Egyptian Egyptian language became the language of the region. Many Kushites used the Egyptian names and wore Egyptian-style clothing. They also adopted Egyptian religious practices. A change in power. During the mid-1000s BC, the new kingdom in Egypt was ending. As the power of Egypt's pharaohs declined, Kushite leaders regained control of Kush. Kush once again became independent. We know almost nothing about the history of Kushites from the time they gained independence until 200 years later. Kush is not mentioned in any historical records that describe those centuries. The conquest of Egypt. By around 850 BC, Kush had regained its strength. It was once again as strong as it had been before. It had been conquered by Egypt because the Egyptians had captured and destroyed the city of Karma. The kings of Kush ruled from the city of Napata. Built by the Egyptians, Napata was on the Nile about 500 miles southeast of Kerma. As Kush grew stronger, Egypt was further weakened. A series of inept pharaohs left Egypt open to attack. In the 700s BC, a Kushite king, Kashapa, seized on Egypt's weakness and attacked it. By about 751 BC, he had conquered Upper Egypt. He then established relationships with Lower Egypt. After Kashapa died, his son Pianaki continued to attack Egypt. The armies of Kush captured many cities, including Ursu's ancient capital. Pianki fought the Egyptians because he believed that the gods wanted him to rule all of Egypt. By the time he died in about 716 BC, Pianki had accomplished his task. His kingdom extended north from Napata to the Nile Delta.